Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. My name is Jesse Gabriel. I have the great privilege of representing the West San Fernando Valley in the California Assembly and serving as chair of the California Legislative Jewish Caucus. I want to start by thanking Assemblymember Bonta and Lowe and David Hsu and all of the API caucus leadership for bringing us together and for their leadership in standing up for their community and for all of our communities. And first and most importantly, I want to make it clear that the Jewish Caucus and the Jewish community stand in strong solidarity with the API caucus and with the API community during this difficult time. As Jews, we know what it feels like to be targeted by hate. We understand what it's like to have metal detectors and fences outside our houses of worship. I know what it's like to walk your toddler into a preschool past armed guards and to wonder when they're going to ask you, why are men with guns outside of my school? In the city of Los Angeles, in the state of California, in the year 2021. For the API community, for the Jewish community, for so many other communities in this state, hate-motivated violence isn't theoretical. It deeply impacts us, and it requires a forceful response. And that is why we in the Jewish Caucus are proud to join with our colleagues from so many other caucuses to make hate crimes a top legislative priority for this session. And we are going to have a package of bills, and you're going to hear shortly about some of those important proposals from some of my colleagues in the Jewish Caucus, including our Assistant Speaker Pro Tem, Rebecca Bauer-Cahan, Richard Bloom, who's a longtime leader on these issues and chair of the Select Committee on the State of Hate, and my colleague in the San Fernando Valley, Adrien Nazarian. But I want to mention two efforts which are central to our work this year. First is going to be to pass Assembly Bill 57. This is a bill that is based on specific recommendations from the state auditor from 2018. We did an audit in 2018 of the state's response to hate crimes, and we found that it is desperately lacking. And there were two important conclusions that were reached in that audit that still need to be addressed. One is that hate crimes are significantly and likely dramatically underreported in the state of California. And the second is that our California Department of Justice needs stronger policies and must do more to assist local law enforcement. And Assembly Bill 57 would do exactly that. It would strengthen training requirements for our law enforcement officers, and it would require improved guidance and outreach and data collection and reporting by our Department of Justice in collaboration and cooperation with civil rights organizations to make sure that we are doing more to prevent and track and respond to hate crimes. Thus far, the legislature has failed to implement these very specific recommendations, and it's long past time that we acted. And I want to thank the 16 co-authors of this measure who are from every caucus, from both houses of the legislature, many of whom are standing behind me, including my joint author, Assemblymember David Hsu, and our principal co-author, Senator Min. Our second ask is that we are calling on Governor Newsom and legislative leadership to work with us to meaningfully fund the California Nonprofit Security Grant Program. This is a program that was established by the legislature in 2019 in the wake of the deadly shooting at a synagogue in Poway. It supplements a federal program that provides grants for security improvements to targets of hate-motivated violence. And this is an effort where numerous vulnerable communities work together. And we secured $15 million in the 2019 budget. And this is money that went for security at mosques, at LGBTQ community centers, at reproductive health clinics, at Jewish community institutions, at churches, at so many that are facing the threat of hate-motivated violence. And this was an important first step, but it was only that. It was a first step, because that program was dramatically underfunded and oversubscribed. And in 2020, that program had $0 in the budget. The same time that the state of New York put $45 million into a similar program in the state of New York. So we are asking for $50 million in this year's state budget because we know that this is an effective way to save lives, and we also know that it's a way for the state of California to show that it stands shoulder to shoulder with those who are targeted by hate. I want to close where we started by saying that we in the Jewish community stand strongly with the API community. We understand that you are hurting at this moment, and we know that an attack against one community is an attack against all of us. And one of the most meaningful moments for me in the legislature was the way that the API community and the API caucus and the Latino caucus and the Black caucus and so many other caucuses stood with the Jewish community following the surge in hate crimes in 2019. And we want the API community to know and the API caucus to know that the Jewish community has your back we will stand with you, and we look forward to partnering with you to protect your elders and to protect all communities that are at risk of hate-motivated violence.